Hi, my name is Robert Holman. The title, Dreams Was Not an Option, to inform my audience that childhood dreams for some children are not an option due to life circumstance. My childhood dreams was deferred. As I think about my childhood, I was raised by my grandmother. My grandmother had 10 kids and 15 grandchildren living with her. On the weekend, she would go visit her sister in the housing project called Peridago in St. Louis. In the nighttime, it would be men's up on top of the roof, would be shooting at each other and dropping refrigerators on people. The police barely seldom come down there at times. I used to cry when I was a little boy, say I did not want to go back down there because it was too much going on. My mother was very sick and ill, and she would stay in the hospital for 2 months or 3 months at a time. So that left my grandmother raising me and my siblings. So the best thing I learned from my grandmother was unity and family. Second, raised in the inner city, violence was everywhere. People was killed and shooting would be everywhere in the neighborhood where I grew up at. My stepfather was very violent. He was very abusive to my mother. He would beat on my mother, hit her in her face at times. As a little boy, I said to myself, I couldn't wait to be older so I can take care of this man. Mental illness is a big part of my family, and people suffer from that. I also suffer from depression and mental illness myself. The thing I learned that you must take your medication and you must identify that you have a illness or mental illness. I learned about drugs when my cousin James, he was a drug user. He got killed for using drugs. People came to our house looking for him and they killed him because of money that he owed. So I learned from that drugs, especially heroin, was something you would not play with, and I never would mess with it in my life though. Third, I lived in poverty, was poor, was nothing to eat some of the time with all the people living in the house. Day to day survival. I had to look out not only for my siblings, also for some of my younger cousins. As 11 years old, I started running with the wrong crowd and getting locked up. And I got locked up in the juvenile facility. Then I moved up to the criminal system. What I learned from that, crime do not pay. In conclusion, my dreams was deferred as a child. My childhood life was totally normal for me, but there was not a dream in place. It was only in survival mode.